Today, we're counting down the 10 VR games that showed us the future of gaming isn't just coming, it's already here. Number 10, Vampire: The Masquerade Justice. Starting off our list is a game that lets you live out your vampire assassination fantasies in VR. What makes this game so special is how it nails the feeling of being a supernatural predator. Sneaking from shadow to shadow and taking out your enemies one by one feels incredibly satisfying. The game forces you to get up close and personal since you need blood to power your abilities. This creates a nice risk-reward system where you can't just spam your strongest powers. You have to think carefully about when to strike and how to approach each situation. The core gameplay loop works really well. Each level puts various enemies between you and your objective, letting you figure out the best way through. You can either take the patient route and carefully eliminate targets, or go wild and see if you can fight your way through everything. Both approaches are valid and feel great to pull off. The upgrade system as well gives you meaningful choices that actually impact how you play. You'll always want more upgrade points, which makes hunting for collectibles and completing optional objectives worth your time. Even at the end of the game, you'll be curious about trying different abilities and playstyles. While the story isn't as deep as it claims to be, the gameplay more than makes up for it. If you love stealth games or just want to feel like a powerful vampire assassin, this game delivers exactly what you're looking for. Just don't expect too many meaningful choices or deep vampire politics. Number 9, Brazen Blaze. Moving from vampires to blazing fast combat, we have Brazen Blaze, a multiplayer brawler that keeps you coming back for more. The game perfectly blends elements from Overwatch, arena shooters, and fighting games like Super Smash Bros. To create something uniquely suited for VR. The controls feel natural and intuitive. Aiming either hand and pulling the trigger launches you in that direction, while gripping and punching delivers satisfying attacks. Each character has their own unique weapons and abilities that genuinely feel different to play. Some excel at range, others dominate up close, creating a nice variety of playstyles. What really makes Brazen Blaze shine is how well it nails that easy-to-learn, hard-to-master sweet spot. The basic controls are simply enough for anyone to pick up, but there's plenty of depth for those who want to get competitive. The destructible environments add another layer of strategy, as the battlefield literally changes throughout each match. The game launched with 7 playable characters, each bringing something unique to the table. Whether you prefer Skybolt's long-range superiority or Legacy's aggressive close combat style, there's a fighter for every playstyle. Power-ups scattered across the map add an extra element of chaos and fun to each match as well. While the launch content might feel a bit light and the monetization system takes some getting used to, the core gameplay is so solid that it's easy to overlook these issues. The developers have also shown great support post-launch, addressing community concerns and adding new content. Number 8, Tomb Explorer VR. If you've ever dreamed of being Indiana Jones or Lara Croft in virtual reality, Tomb Explorer VR might be exactly what you're looking for. This game lets you explore historically accurate temple ruins while solving puzzles and dodging deadly traps. The environments are incredibly detailed, from Petra's rocky cliffs to ancient Incan ruins in Peru. Each location feels distinct and comes with its own set of challenges and mysteries to uncover. The developers clearly put a lot of work into making these places feel authentic while still being fun to explore. And what makes the game truly special is how it uses VR to enhance the exploration experience. You'll physically duck under traps, reach out to grab ledges, and use various tools to overcome obstacles. The physicality of these actions makes you feel like a real archaeologist on an adventure. However, the game does have some technical issues, particularly with save points and controller compatibility. You'll need to complete levels in one sitting since there's no mid-level saving, which can be frustrating given how large some areas are. The developers are, however, working to fix these issues, but for now, there's something to keep in mind. Combat adds variety to the exploration and puzzle solving, though it can feel a bit clunky at times. The bow mechanics in particular take some getting used to, but when everything clicks, taking down enemies while navigating ancient ruins feels incredibly satisfying. Number 7, Arizona Sunshine Remake. Taking a beloved VR classic and bringing it into the modern era, the Arizona Sunshine Remake shows just how far VR technology has come. This zombie shooting adventure has been completely rebuilt with improved graphics and next-gen VR combat systems. The core of what made the original great remains intact: satisfying gameplay, tense zombie encounters, and the ability to play either solo or with up to 3 friends. But now everything looks and feels significantly better. The textures are sharper, the lighting is more dynamic, and the zombie animations are more detailed than ever. The game offers flexibility in how you want to play, from movement options to reload mechanics. You can choose between the simple reloading of the original or go for the more realistic modern VR standard of manually inserting clips and cocking your weapons. The addition of two-handed weapon handling and improved melee combat makes everything feel much more immersive. While some technical issues remain, like occasional tracking problems and some texture quality inconsistencies, the overall package is impressive. The decision to include all the original DLC adds great value, giving players plenty of content to enjoy. The mix of scavenging for supplies and facing intense zombie hordes creates a perfect rhythm of tension and release. When you're running low on ammo during a massive zombie attack, every shot counts, and the satisfaction of surviving these encounters is hard to beat. Number 6. Metal Hellsinger VR. Bringing rhythm-based shooting to virtual reality, Metal Hellsinger VR proves that heavy metal and demon slaying are a perfect match. The game takes the acclaimed original and adapts it brilliantly for VR, creating a unique experience where timing your shots to the beat of the music is key to success. The concept is quite simple but executed perfectly. Shoot demons to the rhythm of heavy metal music. The better your timing, the more damage you deal and the higher your score multiplier goes. What makes it special in VR is just how physical it feels. You're not just pressing buttons, you're actually moving and aiming to the beat. The music builds up as you play better, adding more instruments and eventually vocals when you reach peak performance. This creates an incredibly satisfying feedback loop, where playing well literally makes the music more intense. The soundtrack features well-known metal vocalists from bands like System of a Down and Lamb of God. Each weapon feels distinct and requires different rhythmic patterns to use effectively. While some weapons may work better than others in VR, finding your preferred loadout and mastering its rhythms is extremely rewarding. The game also includes various difficulty options and accessibility features to help players of all skill levels enjoy the experience. The campaign might be short, but the scoring system and various challenges give it plenty of replay value. Each level can be tackled multiple times with different weapons and strategies, and chasing high scores becomes addictive. Number 5. Stilt. Now here's something completely different. Stilt takes the concept of VR movement and turns it into something unique and joyful. You play as an alien creature bouncing around on springy stilts, creating one of the most innovative platforming experiences in VR. The control scheme sounds quite bizarre on paper. You move by bouncing on stilts, but it works surprisingly well in practice. Once you get the hang of controlling your bounce height and direction, moving through the colorful 3D levels becomes incredibly satisfying. It's like combining the freedom of Gorilla Tag with traditional platforming challenges. The level design really shines, with each world featuring its own visual theme and clever platforming challenges. Hidden presents and stamps give you reason to explore every corner, and the gradually increasing difficulty keeps things interesting without becoming frustrating. Power-ups like grappling hooks and rocket boosts add extra variety to your movement options. While the learning curve is steep at first, the checkpointing system is generous enough to prevent any frustration. The game manages to be accessible to newcomers while still offering plenty of challenges for those who want to master its unique movement system. The multiplayer modes add even more value, though finding other players can be challenging. When you do find a match though, modes like Deathmatch and Balloon Hunt offer fun new ways to use your stilt bouncing skills. Number 4. Metro Awakening. Taking the atmospheric world of Metro into virtual reality, Metro Awakening delivers a chilling supernatural story that serves as a prequel to Metro 2033. Set in 2028, you explore the haunting subway tunnels beneath a post-apocalyptic Moscow. The game puts you in the role of Serdar, a doctor searching for his wife in the dangerous tunnel system. Unlike previous Metro protagonists, you're not a trained soldier, which makes combat feel far more desperate and intense. Every bullet counts, and sometimes avoiding conflict entirely through stealth is your best option. What makes this game special is how it uses VR to enhance the series' signature atmosphere. Physically managing your gas mask, checking your watch for filter time, and manually reloading your weapons in the darkness of the Metro tunnels creates an unmatched level of immersion. The story, written by series creator Dmitry Glukhovsky, offers a more personal and emotional tale than previous entries. It serves as an origin story for Khan, a mysterious character from the Metro series, adding interesting depth to the franchise lore. The development team worked closely with 4A Games, using assets and models from previous Metro titles to ensure authenticity. And this attention to detail shows in everything from the weapon designs to the environment art. Number 3. Vendetta Forever. If you have ever wanted to feel like John Wick in virtual reality, Vendetta Forever delivers that fantasy perfectly. This puzzle shooter combines precision gunplay with strategic movement in a way that creates some of the most satisfying combat sequences in VR. The core mechanic is brilliant. You can only move by killing enemies and teleporting to their weapons. This creates an intricate dance of death where every shot needs to be planned, as your choice of targets determines your path through each level. The levels are short but designed for multiple playthroughs as you try to perfect your run. The weapon variety is impressive, from standard pistols to throwing weapons like kunai. Each weapon feels distinct and satisfying to use, with great haptic feedback and sound design. Landing 3 perfect headshots with thrown kunai feels incredibly cool, and the game constantly provides opportunities for these action movie moments. While occasional tracking issues can disrupt your flow, the levels are short enough that restarting isn't too frustrating. The game requires full 360-degree movement and can be quite physical, giving you a proper workout as you dodge and weave through levels. The combination of puzzle elements with action creates a unique experience where you're not just shooting, but solving combat puzzles in real time. It's like chess with guns, where each move needs to be planned but executed with precision. Number 2. Batman Arkham Shadow. Bringing the Dark Knight into virtual reality, Batman Arkham Shadow delivers an immersive superhero experience that builds on the legacy of the Arkham series. Set 6 months after Arkham Origins, this game puts you behind the cowl of a younger, less experienced Batman. The game brilliantly adapts the series' signature free-flow combat for VR, letting you physically throw punches, counterattacks, and use gadgets. Stealth sections return as well, with Predator sequences feeling more intense than ever as you physically peek around corners and drop down on unsuspecting enemies. The story follows Batman's investigation of a mysterious villain called the Rat King, who threatens to destroy Gotham on Independence Day. The narrative explores Bruce Wayne's transformation from a vengeful vigilante into a symbol of hope, featuring familiar faces like Harvey Dent and Jim Gordon. What makes this game special is how it uses VR to enhance classic Batman gameplay elements. Physically aiming your grapple gun, throwing batarangs, and using detective vision to analyze crime scenes creates an unprecedented level of immersion in the Dark Knight's world. The game structure follows the praised formula of Arkham Asylum, with interconnected areas that open up as you gain new gadgets and abilities. The VR perspective makes exploring these spaces feel fresh and exciting. Number 1. Underdogs. Taking the top spot is Underdogs, a game that perfectly captures the excitement of mech combat in virtual reality. You pilot a gorilla-like mech called Rilla, using your actual movements to throw punches and dodge attacks in intense arena battles. The physical nature of the combat is what makes this game so special. Every punch feels powerful and precise, with excellent hit detection that makes landing combos incredibly satisfying. Whether you're throwing an uppercut or landing a devastating haymaker, the game perfectly translates your movements into mechanical destruction. Movement options are varied and intuitive. You can dodge by physically grabbing and pulling yourself in different directions, or launch forward to slam into enemies. The variety of enemies keeps you on your toes, with some attacking from range while others try to flank you. The roguelike elements add great replay value, with each run offering different power-ups, parts, and weapons to discover. The game also includes interesting moral choices that affect future runs, adding depth to the underground fighting circuit setting. The presentation is top-notch, with comic book-style cutscenes that look fantastic in VR and a pumping soundtrack that gets you in the mood for combat. The physics-based gameplay creates endless possibilities for creative fighting strategies. Underdogs takes everything great about VR combat and wraps it up in a package that's both accessible and deep. It is a perfect example of how to do physics-based combat right in virtual reality, making it our top VR game of 2024. And that wraps up our list of the top 10 VR games of 2024. Let me know down in the comments section what you think about these picks, and if there are any games you think should have made the list. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming content.